Great fun, you could do it all day. One of these three could take this radio-controlled smart car home tonight. And that's not all. They could also win the chance to go off-roading with Brian Hartley at Club Off-Road in Yorkshire. And this would involve driver training and an adventure trail in his Land Rover V890. And as if this wasn't enough already, we've got a smart rucksack, a Jeep sunglasses and a rugby top for this lot to take home, whether they win or not. Stay with us for Asking Price. OK, let's just recap. The cars we show you are genuinely for sale, and we ask our contestants to guess what the asking price is. There's a point for the person whose guess is the closest, which becomes 2 points if they're within £50. We give 3 points for a direct hit, and if two people make the same guess, well, they both get the same points. With us tonight, Howard. Howard works for Adidas, and Howard, you run up mountains and you like Formula One, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Christian, 29, good friends, you too. And you're into motor racing as well?
I certainly am, yeah.
And Scott at the end there. Scott, you're a dealer in sports cars, so you've got an advantage. OK, brilliant. Well, Brendan's been off to the used car showrooms again. Let's see what he's found.
Now, this is a belting little car. Fantastic condition, very economical and cheap. But just how cheap? That's the question for you, Chris, and your assorted bunch of patients. I'm sorry, contestants. Sorry. It is, of course, a Fiat Punto 55S, N-registered, 1995. It's got 33,000 miles on the clock and an 1100 engine, which, of course, makes for great fuel economy figures, anything up to 60 miles per gallon. The spec isn't great. In fact, it includes this. Have a look. Yes, you know you're scraping the barrel when the spec list has to include things like a heated rear window and a rear window wash wipe. Yeah, it's got wheels, a steering wheel, windows. Yeah, but it is attractive to some. Yes, still, despite its limited spec, this car is very attractive. It's only insurance group 3 and very cheap road tax. So it's probably attractive for some new driver or their rich parents. It's got fantastic bodywork and it's all round in generally good condition. So, what's the asking price?
It's all round, chaps. Get writing. What do you think that car's worth? So, a Fiat Punto there, a 55 model, N-Reg, 43,000 miles on the clock. It's at a dealer. What do you think the dealer will be asking for it? The dealer will be saying, oh, it does 60 miles to the gallon, you know, very economical car to run, suits you like a glove, madam, wonderful motor car. Time's up. What you got? So, Howard, what do you value that Punto at?
I've gone for 4895.
Have you indeed? Christian?
I've gone for 1750.
Well down on Howard. And finally, Scott, what do you value?
2,500.
Say again?
2,500.
2,500. Let's see what the Fiat made.
Yeah, nice little car, this. Be ideal for some lad who's just passed his driving test trying to impress the girls. Not at 72 miles an hour, flat out he won't. The asking price is £3,495.
£3,495, so quite a wide spread there. But Scott at 2,500, I think you're the closest, and one Punto for you. Very well done. OK, let's try another one. This time we're looking at supercars. Let's join Glenda.
Imagine you won the rollover lottery draw, as well as houses in St Lucia, London and Paris, and as many Gucci and Prada clothes as you could fit in to your numerous walk-in cavernous wardrobes. You might find yourself rolling around in one of these, a Ferrari 550 Barchetta. The gorgeous drop-top Barchetta will complement your designer wardrobe perfectly, but the performance will definitely ruffle your three-figure haircut. The 0 to 60 dash comes in less than 4.5 seconds and on all the way to 186 miles an hour. So, how much of your jackpot would you have to blow to acquire one of these? What is the asking price?
There you go. What's the asking price of that lovely Ferrari? Get writing. 550, the Barchetta version, drop dead gorgeous. Would you not give your eye teeth for this lovely motor car? You probably have to give your eye teeth as well. People value them. My experience, Ferraris, you need a mechanic in the boot to keep it going, but never mind, who cares what I think. Time's up. Right, Christian, you've won the pools. What are you going to spend on that Ferrari?
185,000.
Cheap half price. Scott, what are you going to spend?
180,000.
That's what you'd offer on trade-in. And Howard?
That could be a shade low at 97,000.
A shade low. All right, let's see what the dealer wanted for that superb Ferrari.
It'll have to be a double rollover to afford one of these. It's £200,000.
200,000 quid, very limited edition Ferrari and a beautiful one. Christian, you're almost spot on, 185,000 then. That's not bad at all, and you get the point. So, on to our third round with Lynn, my favourite round. It features classic cars. Have a look at this.
Hi, just in for a pit stop and I thought I'd call in a showroom and pick up a new car for my next race. What about this one? It's got my name all over it. It's a 1963 Corvette Stingray. It's left-hand drive and it's manual and I want it. It's still got the original black leather interior and it's pretty spacious for a two-seater car. I'm going to put my offer in. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's got a 5.4 V8 engine, that's 327 cubic inches to you. And in terms of laps, it's only done 45,000 miles. Fantastic. And check out this, the pièce de résistance, the rare split screen model. This is a limited edition. It's fantastic, it's automobilia at its best, and I want it. The Corvette Stingray, immaculate condition. I don't think I'm going to find anything better than this. It suits my job just fine. So, I wonder how much they're asking.
I wonder indeed. Penelope pit stop there. Come on, guys, what do you think that lovely Corvette is worth? Split rear screen, 1963, 5.4 litre V8, 45,000 miles it's done. Sort of car that... well, a tremendous image. She said it was left-hand drive. I think they're all left-hand drive. Glass fibre bodywork, so it's never going to rot. Time's up. Scott, you're a sports car dealer. How do you fancy a Corvette?
Not really my cup of tea, far too old.
How much?
£35,000, I guess.
35,000. Howard, fancy cruising down the highway in that?
Maybe. 19.7.
And Christian, your sort of car?
I could really see myself in a car like that, yeah. I've gone for 29,500.
I could see you in a car like that. Yeah, so could the dealer. OK, let's see what the Corvette made.
I'm going to take it. It's an absolute bargain. £29,950. And Dick and his dog will never catch me in this.
I bet they won't. So, £29,950. Christian, you're very close. 29,500. You get the point. Jolly good. So, let's take a look at the scores so far. Howard yet score, I'm afraid. Christian racing into the lead with 2 points. And Scott, you're on 1 point. So, pretty well done all round. Now on to our quickfire round. We'll be revealing pictures of cars slowly. And you guys have to buzz when you think you can guess within £1,000 of the car's list price, OK? Points go down as the time moves on. You only get one chance each to guess. So here's the first of our cars. Take a look, buzz when you know what it is and what it's worth. Scott, what is it?
Citroen Picasso.
What's it worth?
£12,000.
Not close enough. It's between Christian and Howard. What is it? Tell me what buzz when you know what it is and what it's worth. Christian?
It's a Citroen Picasso.
Yeah.
I'll go for £14,000.
Yeah, OK, I'll let you have that. That's the Citroen Zaro Picasso 2-litre HOI-SX. I think that should be HDI-SX. And it's £14,465. Let's look at the next picture. Christian?
I think that's a new Mini Cooper. I'm going for 13,000.
You're out. So it's between the other two. Let's look at the car again. Scott?
Nissan Micra.
And how much is it worth?
£8,000.
Well done. That's a Nissan Micra 1-litre GX Sport at £8,550. OK, let's look at another one. Scott?
It's a Renault Megane Scenic.
And what's it worth?
£13,500.
You're out. Between the other two, what is it? Look at the picture again. Quickly.
I'll go for a Megane Scenic.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll price it at 15,000.
No, you're out. It's down to you, Howard. Quickly.
14,995.
How much?
14,995.
Now, amazing venue, the Renault Scenic. It want only £12,470 for it. Amazing. How are you doing at home? Here's one to keep you guessing over the break. It's an item of motorsport memorabilia. So some people in the studio now want it. This week we got a Formula One racing wheel, and it's from a Williams. It was used in the 2000 season by either Jenson Button or Ralph Schumacher, depending on who knocked the wheel off first. They can't guarantee which one of these two. Join us after the break to find out what it's worth. OK, what do you think the asking price for this week's memorabilia, the Formula One wheel from Williams, really is? Well, it's actually worth, well, just 200 quid. Now, two Formula One fans here, would you pay 200 quid for a Formula One wheel?
You might be tempted.
You might be tempted. Christian, would you?
I'd struggle to find somewhere to put it.
yes, that's the trouble. Looks suspiciously like a toilet. No, I didn't say that. OK, right, now we're down, back to the game, and we're going down the auctions to see just what Joe Blakeway can find for us this week.
Off down to the auction again to see what bargains we can find. And remember, we're after the auction price, what it went under the hammer for, not the retail price. We found a real bargain for you today, a Volvo 340. Doesn't it look lovely? It's an 88E, a diesel with just less than 90,000 miles on the clock, and the bodywork pays testament to that. I think there's more rust here than there's clean paint on this car. So there you have it, a fairly ropey Volvo 340. What do you think it went for?
Oh, now there you are. It's the auction on a wet day. Start writing. What do you think the trade will bid for that car? Get writing, get thinking about it. A Volvo with 90,000 miles on the clock, the 340, possibly the most deeply unwanted Volvo of all, and it's a diesel as well, and it's very scruffy around the edges. The trade is grouped round, the hammer is falling. What do you think it's going to go for? Time up. Howard?
Can't see that fetching more than 80.
Nor can I, actually. Christian?
A bit over generous, I think, £150.
And Scott?
Worse than the other two, £70.
You're not going to go to the auction with an awful lot of money in your pockets, are you? Let's go back down to the auction and see what that car made.
Hold on. 8 goes once. Dougie, you missed it. Come back. £4. Once, twice. Third last all done at £4 only. Park it up.
£4, and they had to push it out of the auction room as well. So, with your deep experience of prestigious cars on your lot there, you were the closest, Scott, £70. In fact, it went for £4.
Yeah, far too generous.
You were being very generous, but you get the point anyway. And what do you think? A deeply impressive motor car. I mean, would you think £4 was about right for it?
Worth every penny of £4, yeah.
Worth every penny of £4. Every penny. OK, private sellers, of course, can be very unpredictable. Lynn went along to see what this week's willing victim wants for their motor.
Check out the Peugeot 206. Basically, Peugeot have taken the 205 and they've made it bigger and better. And this one is in absolutely immaculate condition. It's an S-Reg with silver metallic paint, which is always going to add value to the car. And I cannot see a patch of rust or scratches anywhere. Fantastic. Let's check it out inside. Electric windows then, obviously, and our one careful lady owner certainly does look after a car. It's very clean, it's very roomy, a nice velour upholstery here, a standard Peugeot radio, and very nice indeed. The only thing I would say is I think she's a bit of a smoker, but it's nothing that a bit of air freshener wouldn't sort out. So, our lady owner fancies an upgrade. She's going to stick with Peugeot, but she fancies a brand new model. Some people are never satisfied. So, how much will she ask for her 1.4 litre hot hatch?
OK, a lady owner who'll never be satisfied. Start thinking about it now. It's an attractive car, a 206. Says she thinks she's a smoker, but I notice there is a sweetener dangling from the steering column there. And bear in mind that private owners sometimes think their cars are worth a bit more than the trade is prepared to pay. So bear in mind, it's a private owner who's asking the price. Time's up. Christian?
I'm going for 6,950.
OK. Scott?
A little bit less, 6,700.
And Howard, what would you give the lady for her lovely Peugeot?
5495.
5495. So you're rather under your colleagues there. OK, let's see what she wanted for her car.
So, how much did you guess for our little French car? The price is £5,600. That's a bargain in any man's language.
A bargain there. OK, and Howard, very close indeed there, so you get the point. Very well done. OK, a final chance to reverse the order. Our second quickfire round. The points go down as more information is revealed. Fingers on the buzzers, please. And have a look at the first car. What's behind the cover up there? Very quickly from Scott. What is it? What's it worth?
A Lexus SC 430.
How much?
And it is worth £48,000.
OK, between Howard and Christian, what is it and what's it worth? Christian?
Porsche 911 Cabriolet worth 72,000.
And it's all down to you, Howard. What is it and what's it worth?
Lexus SC400, 28,995.
You're all out. It's the Lexus SC430 Coupe that they tell me is worth £50,850, Scott. So let's go on to the next car. Now, this is an unusual one. Oh, immediately. Scott, what is it?
It's a Toyota Prius.
Yes, and what is it worth?
It's worth about £15,000.
Move on. Christian and Howard, what is it? What's it worth? Have another look.
I guess it's
Christian?
Toyota Prius. I'll go for £13,000.
And finally, down to you, Howard. What is it and what's it worth?
Toyota Prius, 10,995.
Not enough. Nobody gets the points. Toyota Prius, it's worth £16,495 if you would want to drive one. And the last car, let's have a look at another one. Easy peasy. Scott.
Punto.
And what's it worth?
£6,500.
Keep going. Christian and Howard, what is it?
I'll go for a Fiat
Christian?
Punto, 7,500.
Yes, right. Well, very well done. It's a Fiat Punto 1.2 3-door, £7,522. Jolly good. Point to you. Let's see how that affects the final scores. And Howard, a dramatic last-minute dash to 1 point. And Scott doing very well with your professional knowledge, 6 points. But our winner, Christian, with a runaway 10 points. Very well done indeed.
Thank you.
OK, that means Christian's the winner, and he will go on to our final payoff round. But before we move on, you all get prizes for taking part. And here's what we have for you all to take home. There's a smart rucksack, a Chrysler T-shirt and some very special Jeep sunglasses. So, Christian here is through to the final payoff round and we're going to show him just one more car. And if he can get within £2,000 either side of this car's asking price, he'll take home that radio-controlled car and win the day off-roading on top of what he's already got. So, Christian, you can ask the other two for their advice, but do you trust them to be truthful? Are you ready? OK. Here we go. Look at the car.
This is a Nissan Skyline GTR V-Spec. It's got a 2.6-litre turbocharged engine, has about 280 or 290 brake horsepower, goes from 0 to 60 in about 5.2 seconds, and I'm going to drive it. That's why I'm grinning. Everything you've ever read or heard about this car is absolutely true. It is a wolf in wolf's clothing. All be them aubergine. Let's go. Now, when this Skyline came out, it was billed as one of the most technologically advanced to come out of Japan, and it was apparently their first supercar. And it is first class to drive. The traction control system that's delivering power to the 4 different wheels is amazing. It's 94, it's M registered, and it's only got 31,000 miles on the clock. But I would be careful with this car because it is, of course, an import, and it's also got a lot of sign of wear around the gear stick and handbrake. So I don't think it's been treated too carefully, if you know what I mean. But still, it'll bring joy to whoever buys it. Back to you in the studio, because at the moment it might be me. What's the asking price?
A real hooligan car. So you may confer if you wish. I strongly urge to do so because you've got a very qualified man alongside you. 20 seconds. Start working on it. Skyline, of course, real hooligan's car, the ultimate in hooligan's car. It'd be very easy to sell. Talk to Scott, he's bound to know what it's worth. Made up your mind? Thought about it? Running out of time, last chance for that radio-controlled car and off-road. Time's up. Christian, tell me what you think it's worth.
I think I'm going to take Scott's advice and go for 21,000.
£21,000 for that car. Well, I think that Scott has slightly misled you there, because let's see what that car is really worth.
Now, these imported cars are as rare as the proverbial rocking horse ship, you know what I'm going to say. So despite the fact that this car is nearly 8 years old, it will still set you back a whopping £17,999.
So 18,000 quid, you're 3,000 quid out. We said 2,000 either side, but, you know, very well done. How come you don't know what this
It wasn't a V. It obviously wasn't a V-spec. I thought it was
Sorry?
I thought it was a V-spec one.
You thought it was the B-spec?
Yeah.
Wow, if we'd known it. It was a V-spec.
Was it? It was very cheap then. Very cheap. Wouldn't have been as cheap from me.
But you would have made sure that it was not worn around the gear stick.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a bit dodgy, isn't it? The mileage and the gear stick. And
8 years old, of course.
Yeah.
And how can you tell how it's been treated in Japan?
A decent Japanese car would come with a service record that you can read. An imported Japanese car, that the mileages and dates are the same as our handwriting, so you can tell that a good car is a good one, really.
Is it worth going for one?
Yeah, absolutely. They're fabulous. They're fabulous things.
OK, lovely to drive, I know, and of course the only trouble with it, you can't keep your licence for more than 3 months anyway. OK, that's it for this week's Asking Price. Here's another one for you at home. Put these 3 cars into their correct order of value. We've got a Seat Toledo, an Audi A6, and Mercedes-Benz, one of those lovely E-classes. And the answer is on our website, www.menandmotors.co.uk. And we'll see you next time on Asking Price.
This is Nissan Skyline even, GTR, V-spec.
Because this little baby is sex. There's always the problem with the door.
Words order in the right